Hello, my name is Kirioth, and today we are going to take a look at the brand new Abaddon the Despoiler model together. I haven't actually looked at this yet, it just dropped on the Warhammer community page, and so we're both going to take a look at this at the same time. There is a video embedded in the page, which of course I will link to in the description, but we're just going to take a look at the model, because let's face it, that's the most important thing, and it's sort of a little bit spoiled already, because he's right there, as you can see. But there got to be some better pictures than that, right? Surely. Let's have a... Okay, there we go. There we go. That was immediate. That was instant. Awesome. Right. That is the new Abaddon the Despoiler. And... Okay, firstly... Yeah, when we said he was going to be massive, absolutely not wrong about that. That is a chap who's got some serious girth, I think is probably the way to put it. Weirdly, aside from the slightly comical... spike arrangement thing that's going on top of the model, not as completely overly done, in terms of ornateness, as I thought it would be. Games Workshop have been steadily getting more ornate and stuff with their models, and there's been a lot more detail than there used to be, a lot of, maybe a bit of overpopulation in some cases. I was kind of expecting Abaddon to be really, really out there, but it actually isn't too bad, to be honest. For the size of model... He's really not bad at all. I'm not entirely sure about the new version of the spikes that he's got sticking out the top of the armour there. I'm not entirely convinced whether I like that or not. It's a different interpretation of the classic Abaddon stylings, obviously, but I'm not sure it has quite the same impact. I will say the Talon of Horus looks absolutely quality. I love the scale of it, the size of it. It still looks oversized, but Abaddon looks more, I guess, more natural wearing it than he has in his previous incarnation. Overall, I actually really like this. I'm pleasantly surprised. I thought they'd go over the top, and it's not actually that bad. It's not completely ridiculous. The more I look at the spikes, the more I'm thinking maybe those are a little bit ridiculous, but... The detail on the face is really nice. They've kept the top knot. I'm glad they've done that. I was a little bit worried that perhaps that would go, because I'd say that's very much a holdover of kind of an older style. But the way it's been redone, it still works. It's still a little bit overly tall, but it's not as... I feel like it's not as overly tall as it once was. That's pretty good. I'm liking this. I'm liking it. I think the more I look at it, the more I would rework the spikes, do something a little bit different with those, but the armour looks good. It's not too over the top. There isn't too much in the way of, there isn't an abundance of skulls on the armour, at the very least. It's pretty sensible, all told, which I'm surprised about. I'm happy about, but I'm surprised about. Okay, let's see, there's closer detail shots down here, so get a better look at the Talon there. Again, it's massive. It needs to be massive. I like the detail of it being kind of upside down, so to speak. The way he's holding his hand, the belt of ammo coming into the bolters there is nicely done. I like the damage to the cables as well. I'm a bit of a sucker for damaged cables on stuff that's especially chaosy. I like that. I like that approach to things, and a nice close up of the sword that I just don't know why I bother trying to pronounce every time. Drachnien? You know what it is. It's Abaddon the Despoiler sword. You know what it is. You could probably spell it. I just can't pronounce it. I'm not 100% on the faces in the blade. Again, that's kind of a holdover. I'm not 100% convinced on them. I think I would probably prefer to maybe green stuff those out and just make it kind of scarred and pockmarked personally, but it does fit what the blade is. I mean, I can't argue with that. It's not like that's a styling choice they pulled out of nowhere. They have actually done that for a reason. It's not something that I'm particularly liking on it, but at least there is a sensible reason for doing it. And again, the style of that is a nice callback to the existing model. It's a nice reference to it without being too over the top cartoony, in my opinion. And little details like the Eye of Horus sort of style, chaos style going on the wrist guard there. I like that. I think that's because it's etched in, and it's not embossed or like kind of brassy look. I like it because it's there and it's got the detail, but it's not over the top. Okay, what else do we have? Okay, well, there's the scale of him. That's ridiculous. That's so good. Admittedly, he is on a very scenic base on this, so that's going to add a bit of height to him. Admittedly, it's not adding that much height to him compared to a Primaris Space Marine, but it is giving him a little bit of height. But still, we thought it was going to be a big, beefy, chunky boy, and it turns out he is a massive, beefy, chunky boy, which is exactly what he should be, and I like that. And of course, we do have the Primaris Lieutenant on the base. Speaking of which, okay, the back view. I like the way they've done the cloak there, actually. I like the way they've done the cloak. That's cool. Actually showing the back of the armour, showing the vents on the back, and having it so it's still got that fur, but it's also nice and tattered. I like that. That's a nice touch. It gives a little bit more detail on the back where I don't think you necessarily massively need it, but it does provide a little bit extra. It just provides a bit more to the model. I like that a lot. I'm a sucker for like tattered capes anyway. I like stuff like that. And the actually the spikes look a little bit better from the back, but I still think for me that's the weakest part of the model so far. The spikes are the weakest part of the model. Everything else I'm really liking. Might do a bit of work on the sword, but the spikes are definitely the bit that's like not quite clicking for me. But yeah, that back view is nice. That's what she said. Getting a bit Slanesh again, isn't it? And then there's some detail on the bases here. Oh, and without the fully detailed under the cloak as well. Okay, that's I like that. That's good. That's good. If you don't want to have that, you don't have to have it. Also, that is perfect for making your own like ridiculous Chaos Warlords. That's great. That's a really good decision. Like, hands down, that is a really good decision. You can actually take that off and have all of that detail on the back. I'm super happy with that. I'm super happy with that. And then, of course, the poor Primaris Lieutenant getting absolutely crushed. Well, I mean, he's really dead, let's be honest, but not a great way to go, is it? Okay, and yeah, just a bit of a more closer look at the face. I like the face. The face is good. The detail on that kind of I don't know what we call that. What is that? Like the belt. It's not a belt, is it? Where the belt is, you know what I mean. That bit there. Again, not too over the top. Very, very bold kind of just in your face kind of iconography, but it's not too fiddly. There isn't a vast amount of like small detail in it. This is almost like anti-Guilliman in a way. Guilliman had like a bunch of engravings and embossed bits and loads of decorative stuff all over him. Abaddon is still, he still has elements of that, but it's nowhere near on the same scale, and I like that. It's a nice contrast. Yeah, and without the cloak on him, I have to say I think the cloak adds a lot of presence to the model. It definitely adds a lot of mass. It makes him look a lot kind of wider than he actually is. But I really do appreciate the fact that you don't actually have to have that. I like that decision a lot. That's a good call. And multiple helmet options as well. You know what? This is surprising. It's good, but surprising. Yeah, there's a nice half helm there. That's that's a good choice. Again, that is a good choice. I'm impressed not just with the model. I'm impressed with the decision making that's gone into this as well. There's like every now and again they'll make like a model that looks great, but you can't do anything with. This doesn't actually feel like that. They're giving a lot more customization than I assumed you would, in that you can take the cloak off and you can swap the head around. No, it doesn't seem like much, but to be honest, it's still more than I was expecting. So yeah, you've got the alternative head, and then you've got the standard one. That's not bad. That's pretty good. You could do a lot with this by the look of things. You could probably do some ridiculous, like, if you really wanted to like mess about with it, I imagine you could use several bits of this for really nice like Demon Lord conversions and stuff. I mean, the scale of it is really big, so you could do a lot of interesting things with this. I'm happy. I'm really happy with this. I think this looks great. It's just the right balance between kind of between ornamentation and kind of purposefulness, and he's got a bit of the leader pose going on, but it's not. He isn't standing there pointing at someone and shouting, which is refreshing. And he hasn't gone full typhus. I didn't like the new typhus pose at all, but yeah, this works a lot better. Overall, that is pretty damn good. I do like that a lot. I appreciate the fact that you can take the cloak off a lot. I think I would leave it on personally, but just that being an option is nice. Yeah, I'm super happy with this. Let's have a quick look further down and see if there's anything else. So Vigilus Ablaze is the second Vigilus campaign book. I mean, yeah, it's gonna be. Let's be honest. I think we've already seen this artwork before, haven't we? I might be misremembering that, but I think we have. Some nice art of the new Venom crawler. It's such a ridiculous, so mad. I love it. Oh god. Oh, hang on. What's this down the bottom here? And a Havoc. Yes, there we go. Nice, awesome. Okay, we do have new Havocs. I was a little bit worried about that because some of the Demon Engine stuff all seemed to be not all of it, but a lot of it was related to the Shadow Spear box, and I really thought the Reaper autocannon was either Terminators or Havocs, and then it wasn't either. But that is a new Havoc with an interesting design there. Actually, is that the backpack or is that the back of the armor that's kind of squared off against the back of the head? I think it might be the armor, or is it the backpack? It's got the ammo for the ammo feed coming round the back into the backpack, so nice. And that's a new weapon. That's actually a new. What is that? It's not. It's assault cannon-esque. That looks very much like a onslaught heavy Gatling cannon, and I say that only because I've built a ridiculous number of those over the last couple of months. That looks very familiar and also not familiar. Familiar in the shape of it, not familiar in that it's clearly chaos. So new weapons options, perhaps. Interesting. Nice. Okay. What's this Havoc carrying? Looks like the Warpsmith have been cooking up some new guns. Emperor help us all. Awesome. Nice. And over the next few weeks, we'll be guiding you through the best set of releases for Chaos Space Marines ever, with regular in-depth previews right here. Okay, I'm back to being happy again. I'm content. That's good. That's great. I like the new Abaddon model. That Havoc looks cool. I want to know what that gun is. It really does look very Onslaught Gatling Cannon to me. Presumably, it'll be something similar, I'd guess. But yeah, overall, the Abaddon model, I'm super happy with. I think they've done a good job with it. There's some nice decisions in there they didn't have to do, making the cloak removable, like different head options. It's only a small thing, but to be honest, I didn't expect it. I thought you would just get the standard, this is Abaddon, this is what it looks like. But no, we've actually got some options going on there. As I say, the only thing I'm not entirely sure about is the spikes, but you can easily mess with those anyway. To be honest, just some standard Chaos Terminator spikes, if you want to go for the older look, would work perfectly well. Or you could rework those to be less kind of on that like decorative stand that they seem to be on, and just having them come straight out of the top of the armor, easily worked around. The fact that there is a Primaris helmet on there, I'm a big fan of, and I like a lot. I'm happy, genuinely happy with that. There's not really much in there that I can find to complain about. It's just the right balance for me. I think they've done a fucking great job with that. So, that is the new Abaddon the Despoiler model, along with a bonus little Havoc. And what do you guys think? Do you like it, not like it? Do you think they've nailed it, not nailed it? Is there anything you'd change? Is there anything you think don't work? Or do you think it actually works pretty well and they've done a decent job? Let me know what you think in the comments down below. In the meantime, feel free to click all the shit. You know the drill, videos, Patreon, subscribe, all that shit. Click it if you like it, don't click if you don't want to. And I'll see you for the next one. Toodaloo.